ladies and gentlemen, to the ITTF World Tour China Open, a super series on the World Tour. I'm your commentator, Adam Bobrow, coming to you live from Chengdu, China. And right now, there's the man in red that everybody's been screaming for. It's Zhang Jike of China versus Koki NIWA. And just the chance of making eye contact with Zhang Jike gets the crowd going crazy. Cell phones out all around, and this is why it sounds like a Justin Bieber concert here. He steps out of the court for a minute, and fans just going absolutely crazy over here. Security in the front rows holding people back. A little fun fact about Zhang Jike's shoes, other than the mysterious question marks next to the 4 stars on the back of his shoes, is that he has those extra straps for support, the Velcro straps, which he puts over, and you'll see right there. Again, strong footwork in all directions. Arguably the best backhand in the game currently. So it's Zhang Jike in red versus Koki NIWA in black. So Koki NIWA, world rank number 15, is the 10th seed in this tournament. He's 21 years old. And at small stature out here, his low center of gravity, still manages to beat some very strong players. One of the last non-Chinese players, maybe the last, to beat Ma Long. It was in the trials in Asia before the Olympics, 2012. So Koki NIWA says he has 100% confidence when he's playing table tennis. Right now we're getting into the coin toss here. So Zhang Jike wins the coin toss. It looks like he takes the serve. And the crowd here is so loud. Again, Ma Long on the other table versus Kenta Matsudaira right now. So these two have played 3 times on the World Tour, Koki NIWA and Zhang Jike. Zhang Jike won 3 out of 3 attempts. Zhang Jike, 28 years old, a Grand Slam champion. At 28 years old, just took a silver medal in singles in Rio at the Olympic Games. And while there are a lot of rumors after he said something about being ready to retire to a fan on Weibo, rumors surfaced that he might be retiring. Head umpire Stefan Weigand right there from Germany. But Zhang Jike came out and said that he will not be retiring anytime soon. He will be fighting and feeling good. There's even talk about him possibly playing in Tokyo in 2020 at the Olympics. Again, that's 4 years away, and a lot can change in that time. We'll see. There's his personal coach, Xiao Zhan. So again, there's a lot of conversation between Fan Zhendong being number 2 in the world right now, and Xu Xin playing quite well, having beaten Ma Long in their last 2 encounters. It's tough to say who will play at the Olympics, but then again, when TV's involved, sports are definitely entertainment. So a lot of nations want to put out the player that's going to equal the best TV ratings, the most popular players. And you can see people getting hot there in the crowd. Everyone watching in anticipation. She's got table tennis on her mind, and Zhang Jike probably as well. There's been some conversation. Koki NIWA had a very strong Olympics. Climbed, I believe, from 22 in the world to 15 in the world after last month's play. And even started off playing quite well against Zhang Jike. Their last encounter had a lot of people watching the Olympics thinking, I wonder if Koki NIWA will end up playing for a medal.
Time to serve. Love
Koki NIWA in the opening round beat Panama's Omar Avital. Zhang Jike, we'll see how he does, starting off with the serve in this best of 7.
1-all.
A lot of power on both of those shots, but Koki NIWA quick to block the first. Again, anticipation, being in the right place at the right time, keeping the racket head up. Look at this placement. The step around shot beats Zhang Jike wide on the forehand side. Zhang Jike not able to tell where the ball's going. Koki NIWA keeping it very discreet until the moment of contact. Fishing game from off the table. I think we're going to hear a roar from the crowd anytime Zhang Jike wins a point. Inside out shot, recovering a net ball there. Koki NIWA definitely in the point. And so far leading 3 points to 1.
Let 1-3.
Strong opening backhand. NIWA continues on. Again, the first game, he's shown strength. Zhang Jike, many argue, mentally as strong as they come when the pressure's on.
5-1.
We'll see, he's had his ups and downs. The story of Zhang Jike is that he rises to the occasion. When it's important, the more important it is, the more pressure there is, the more he thrives. As far as sports psychology goes, there are many different ways a player can react to pressure. Zhang Jike's response is the best there is. But Koki NIWA from a step behind the table, blocking everything back and punching it as well, really keeping the pressure on Zhang Jike, forcing some impatience.
1-7.
The half-long push, the touch game. Koki NIWA seems pretty unbeatable right now. Zhang Jike waiting for the fans to quiet down a little bit. That ball left just too high. Inside out forehand for the point. Now the way he comes under the ball but pulls up at the last moment can be quite difficult to receive. A little bit of topspin on that serve.
7-3.
Might not have looked easy, or might have looked easier than it was. This ball right here, pretty shallow on the table. Zhang Jike really has to get the ball from over, use the table, get around the obstacle of the table. There's the power. If NIWA can't get it back from off the table, not too many players can. Heavy topspin. Topspin shot comes right back. NIWA hanging on. And a few points in a row. It was a 7-1 lead for Koki NIWA before 3 points in a row from Zhang Jike. So NIWA breaking the momentum here. Second towel break of the game. Service toss looked like it was going to be trouble for Zhang Jike, but he adjusted well in the third ball attack with the backhand side. So much risk, Zhang Jike. Again, the noise in the stadium right now. We've got the two most popular players in China, Ma Long and Zhang Jike, playing simultaneously.
8-6. This
is going to be trouble for NIWA. Talked about sports psychology earlier, being up 7-1 and losing 6 out of the next 7 points. It's got to be a real blow to the confidence. And a break off the edge. I think that's a well-placed serve from NIWA. Deep to the backhand, side under. The streak continues. Zhang Jike looked like game one was a lost cause. 1-7. This is the real strength of the top players in the world. having a lead, anyone can have a lead. Winning a game, another story.
9-all.
So far, there have been two televised matches today. Both Samsonov and ZHANG Jike have had service errors. And the crowd having trouble controlling their emotions out here.
10-9.
After all the drama and the back and forth in game one, Koki NIWA has a second serve here and a game point. A little bit off the top of the net for ZHANG Jike, but a solid Chiquita banana flip receive. One more time right there from the back of the table. Serve comes just a little bit longer than Koki NIWA might have wanted. Down the line, ZHANG Jike, 2 points in a row to earn his game point in game one, the first game point for ZHANG Jike, again after being down 1-7. This is some true agility out here. You can hear him vocalizing, taking game one means a lot. He would love to win in front of the home crowd, but he's got a long way to go. It's round of 16, takes the first game for a 1-0 lead over Koki NIWA, and we'll be back for game two right after this short break.
Thank you. Second game, NIWA to serve, love all.
Back for game two, Koki NIWA starting off.
One
I think ZHANG Jike did not think that ball was going to come down on the table. NIWA's blocks are going to be far more effective on top of the table. Even though that ball comes up a little bit, it was the very deepest part of the table, as wide as can be.
1-all.
ZHANG Jike has his personal coach, Xiao Zhan, in the corner, but Koki NIWA has no coach in the corner, surprising considering the Japanese national team coach is here, Yosuke Kurashima.
2-1.
I think Koki NIWA understands the importance of getting in early in the point. Well, he's got the soft touch. He's going to be looking for opportunities to attack early as well.
1-3.
Now, viewing at home is different than feeling the blocks, or feeling the loops rather, trying to block a loop from some of these top players. But the ball really jumps and kicks. Excellent commitment. ZHANG Jike stepping around way out on the backhand side for the inside-out forehand. NIWA mistimes a little bit. It's the reverse of the score from game one, where Koki NIWA was leading 5-1. Now, ZHANG Jike has been tested. Tao and Zhang took 2 games off him yesterday from the United States.
6-1.
Again, it's been an interesting mix of players here. China, the most dominant team, of course.
2-6. 3-6.
Just so much power from that backhand. Watching this, you've got to shake your head. Serve sits up just a little bit. This This is the importance of low to the net serves and why you're going to see some service errors out here. Strong receive, fast to the backhand, and NIWA responds quickly. It's the importance of not committing too early, staying loose, but moving only once you've seen the contact. Feel confident you can anticipate where the ball's going. Chop block attempt. The ZHANG Jike surprises NIWA with the short side of the table. What definitely seemed to be a slow start for ZHANG Jike in game one has really turned around. He seems much different as a player out here now. That extra amount of topspin, I had a chance to play with Fang Bo's racket yesterday. The Hurricane 3 on the forehand. It's a heavy rubber, but definitely can generate a lot of spin if it's carried well.
9-5.
Right at the back of the table, ZHANG Jike patiently watching that ball come off, very carefully spinning it up and still causing a threat. Now 5 game points for ZHANG Jike to take a 2-0 lead. Touch again and waiting for the moment. The backhand, the signature backhand, powers through. At 11-5, it's a 2-0 lead from ZHANG Jike. We'll be back for game 3. Stay right here.
Third game, Jan to serve, love, all.
Back for game 3, ZHANG Jike leading 2-0, starting off with the serve.
1 love.
And it's nice to hear some vocalization out of ZHANG Jike, a good sign that he's pumped up, feeling motivated. That's often the question with ZHANG Jike. When is he motivated? We know for the Olympics and some of the big tournaments, no question that the titles appeal. Right off the bounce, he's moving well. ZHANG Jike suffered injuries. Last night talked about his back, how he had to get a shot near his spine in Germany. Many players of different sports go to Germany. For the special medical attention. ZHANG Jike seems quite strong and fit right now. The last 2 years have definitely been questionable with his health.
4 love.
You never know how a player is going to play as far as matchups. Watching ZHANG Jike right now looks pretty unstoppable. But again, if he's playing Ma Long or Fan Zhendong, Xu Xin,
4
can
love.
definitely change how many shots are coming back.
Could you clean it?
Some sweat on the table, most likely. The players do have to ask permission of the umpires whenever some stalling is needed,
4 love.
as it does not appear as delay of game. Ooh, second bounce on the table. Looks like the ball was sitting up just a little bit, but soft touch from NIWA. Takes it right off the bounce. Not too many ways to stop ZHANG Jike right now, but the perfect length is one. And again, soft receive from NIWA, follow-up attack. This is how you steal a third ball attack and open up on the fourth ball. NIWA's step round is deceptively strong. Again, he's not a tall guy, not a big guy, but he's definitely a strong player. Solid muscle out there.
2-5.
ZHANG Jike varying it up well on the push.
6-2.
Now, Koki NIWA tends to have sort of a, I'd say, a very casual style play. It looks like he's not really trying. This could be a sign of his comfort and his confidence, where he feels at home in front of the crowd, the big matches.
6-3.
But even in his attacking game, the counters, the punches, Koki NIWA can be a threat even from off the table.
3-7.
Much like the serve Koki NIWA gave to ZHANG Jike, deep to the backhand, side under pendulum. ZHANG Jike used it wisely.
Let 3-7.
Koki NIWA really had to keep his weight forward on that to stay on top of the ball. Strong receive, the Chiquita from ZHANG Jike. 2 in a row.
7-5.
You can hear the frustration from ZHANG Jike. Now this is a classic combination. Get a player in over the forehand side of the table using the banana flip, and then bring it deep behind them. NIWA twice has played that pattern. Not easy to do, but ZHANG Jike is going to have to mix up the placement on his receive. Soft touch shot low to the net. NIWA escapes. It's a 1-point game. Attempted Chiquita from NIWA. It's a 2-point lead to ZHANG Jike again. Now with the service, not just depth on the table, side to side where it's going to be. Both of these players are testing each other well. They're both going to try to get in. Talked to Samsonov on the bus ride over about Peter Korbel being one of the first players to really master the banana flip.
8-all.
So if NIWA wants a chance to win this match, I think this game right here will be the pivot point. Soft spinny shot
9.
to get ZHANG Jike back and fishing. We haven't seen that too much, and as strong as ZHANG Jike is off the table, NIWA's going to have the advantage when he can push the opponent there. Placement once again as wide as they come, deep on the table, sneaks it past, and now it's 2 game points for Koki NIWA of Japan. Now remember, there's 7 years between these two players. Koki NIWA, at 14 years old, became quite famous in Japan for his level of play. 7 years have passed since then, now at 21 years old. Here he is taking a game off the Grand Slam champion, ZHANG Jike. So Koki NIWA is in the match, and we'll be back for game 4 right after this short break.
Thank you. Could you clean it? Could you clean it? This side, yes, this, yeah.
As the players come back for game 4, Koki NIWA takes game 3 to be in this. He's down 1-2, putting a bit of pressure on ZHANG Jike, who seemed unstoppable after coming back from 1-7 in game 1.
Fourth game, NIWA to serve, love all.
So creativity on the short side of the screen. Look at this.
Love.
To be able to counter that ball so strong. This is the importance of having a well-placed serve, knowing what is most likely to come back, being ready for that shot. This one's going to be too difficult. The receive really sets that up. Look how wide ZHANG Jike's backhand goes. And then the inside-out forehand right down the line. Again, forcing Koki NIWA into a chop block.
Near the end time. One
warning
all.
On service for ZHANG Jike. I will say I'm impressed. ZHANG Jike changed his serve more than most. A lot of players get warned and then are quite persistent about staying with their serve. They don't want to have to break their mental game, try to adjust to something they're not used to serving. But ZHANG Jike, very impressive adjustment. Forehand flip from over the table. And ZHANG Jike in control here. The first 4 points, has 75% of them. NIWA's down the line play with the backhand has been very effective so far.
1-4.
And this is where sometimes a deep serve to the backhand can keep a receiver honest. ZHANG Jike getting a bit comfortable moving in for the short forehand. Oh, right down the line, smothering the ball.
4-2.
For NIWA to topspin this, look at the counter. Side and top on that ball. A fearless Koki NIWA. Whether he's winning, losing, fearlessness is definitely one of his best qualities out here. This comes with the confidence that he talked about. Again, you can find the quote, Koki NIWA, 100% confidence when he plays table tennis. Perfect placement again.
4-3.
Step around, playing the length of the table, deep into the backhand side. And quick footwork, NIWA has to get way back. See if we'll get to see that one again. Regardless, he moves way over for the receive. Deep to the forehand, and then the deep backhand shot right there waiting. Just in time. This time a little bit fooled, the ball came back. Strong shot down the line, and ZHANG Jike taking it one step further and saying, let's see you hit another shot. I'm going to test you, make you run out to the forehand. This ball comes up just a little bit on the backhand opening of ZHANG Jike, but it's still so spinny. NIWA, really tough shot from the back of the table to keep it down and aggressive.
Seven, 4.
Second or third time this game that a ball has come up about head level, chest to head level. NIWA trying to chop block it and still keep it down.
4-8.
Very deceptive serve, difficult for NIWA to receive, and he leaves it too high here again. The down the line shot from ZHANG Jike. Got Andre Gacino right near the commentator's booth, smiling. Some eye contact here. Quite popular yesterday, people fighting for his sweaty shirt. Fans fighting for his towel as well.
4-9.
So Croatia very proud. A bit unusual to see such a flat punch attempt from Jike. But NIWA giving a very similar shot back. Heavy topspin. Slowing it down a little bit, changing the pace against ZHANG Jike.
10-5.
NIWA tries to keep that on the table for a second bounce. Zhang Jike sees it come off, gets the opening spin shot, and now 5 game points for a 3-1 lead.
11-5.
And a bit more calm play. Zhang Jike spinning from off the table takes it 11 points to 5. Again, this is the round of 16, so they're fighting for a spot in the quarterfinals. We'll see what happens in game 5 right after this short break.
Would you clean now the other? Yes.
And as the players come back for game 5, Zhang Jike leading 3-1 over Koki NIWA in black from Japan.
5th game.
Again,
Zhang to serve.
both players quite
Love
unpredictable.
all.
Zhang Jike definitely the favorite, has won 3 encounters out of 3 attempts against Koki NIWA. So much power. The placement of the blocks from Koki NIWA, finally mixing it up and going wider to the backhand. Still no problem, just an opportunity for Zhang Jike to play it wider cross court. And finally a miss hit catches the top edge of the racket. NIWA trying to mix it up in his blocking placement as well. If he keeps it deeper out to the forehand, it gives him a little bit more time in the blocking game to read Zhang Jike's shot, play it behind him, open up a backhand opportunity. But the pressure too strong. Zhang Jike staying right in at the table. As strong as the blocking game is from NIWA, I don't think the blocking is going to win the match. I think he's going to have to vary it up with the spins, take some forehands, step around when he can.
2-all.
It's a good mix of people cheering for Zhang Jike and shushing fans. Inside out forehand down the line. The parallel from Zhang Jike has just been too strong. Zhang Jike fan signs out there in the crowd, black and yellow. An unusual choice, trying to cover with the backhand from wide on the forehand with Zhang Jike that far off the table. Unless NIWA's going for a down the line punch shot, which it looked like he might have been. It's going to cost him in position, and we got a timeout here. Oh, Koki NIWA's coach is here now. Yosuke Kurashima was not here at the start of the match. Could have been that he was coaching Kenta Matsudaira in his match against Ma Long earlier. Coach Kurashima has definitely had some experience with the top Japanese players, taking care of the national team for some years now. You might have seen him in 2014 in Tokyo with the World Team Championships. Now again, as effective as blocking can be, I think it's going to be too comfortable for Zhang Jike to be the consistent attacker out here, the initiator.
Two, 4.
Still a close game here in game 5.
2-5.
A little bit of top side for the inside out serve as the ball kicks up, but still just too long, and Zhang Jike exploits it for the opening attack.
6-2.
Trying to test out the touch. Light backspin ball from the backhand side. Zhang Jike says no problem, leaves it short.
7-2.
Since the timeout, it's been a bit of a runaway for Zhang Jike, and nothing has really worked out for Koki NIWA. Massive power again with that backhand. Touch right there. Zhang Jike gets a chop block back and floats it on the table comfortably. This ball's so much spin. We've seen that before from Koki NIWA. But the finishing inside out forehand. Oh, an attempted around the net shot, going for the roller.
3.
If you have a chance to find the last few shots, the last rally, Zhang Jike versus Masato Shiono. I believe it was the Swedish Open at the end of last year. Incredible match. What appears to be heavy topspin comes back into the net, and now it's 7 match points for Zhang Jike to move on in style to the quarterfinals. Here's some exhibition play. Zhang Jike volunteering it. And Koki NIWA failing to get into the exhibition. Just does not settle, but the crowd is all smiles and cheers because they're going to get to see their favorite celebrity moving on to the quarterfinals. Look at this, just a clap to the crowd and a thank you, and the crowd goes crazy. It was 4-1, and the 2012 Olympic gold medalist, Grand Slam champion, and recent silver medalist from Rio Golden Teams, Zhang Jike, will be playing again. Stick around, we've got another singles match coming up just after this. It's going to be Xu Xin the Cloudwalker versus the junior world champion, Zhang Wujin, right after this short break.